Your powers are weak, old man.
What's up guys, Jim Collector here, and today we're reviewing the CCFL Lightsaber that I got for my Darth Vader. Alright, so here is basically everything that comes with the package. So it does come nicely protected in this tubing here, which is, it looks like a glasses case. But it looked after the saber well, and you see it says very fragile here. That kind of came across on all of the packaging, so it was nicely protected and none of my stuff was damaged. You do get this power cable, which is USB powered as well, which is nice to know, so you will need an adapter for that. It comes with this power box, which you use to kind of plug in the saber, very similar to the Hot Toys products that we're used to now. And you can see it comes with 2 ports as well, so you can connect 2 sabers. So for example, if you're getting the new Anakin, you can get Dooku's saber and you can get the his blue saber, and you can connect them both into the same power source, which I thought was quite nice. Of course, then this power cable, the good thing about this is quite long, which makes it easier for your display, but of course it means more cable to hide. It does disconnect here, and then you have this power switch as well, so it's important that you leave this kind of exposed. But you also then have this control panel, which you also need to make sure when you're planning out your wiring that you don't hide this, because otherwise you won't be able to change the brightness or change any of the effects and features that it comes with. Okay, so here we have the CCFL saber with the Hot Toys counterpart, and you can see there are some difference straight off the bat. Obviously the blades are a different length and the red is a lot more saturated on the CCFL. As we do punch in closer to the 2 sabers here, you can see some differences start to creep up in the paint apps, which are quite clear. So the Hot Toys one that you can see here, really nicely done, has a nice kind of shine to it, looks nice and smooth. This one's a little bit rougher, but I will say, considering it's handmade, it looks really, really nice. It's hand painted for sure. So that is something to consider. Here we have both of them lit up in kind of, this is in our conservatory, so it's kind of sunlight here, and you can see the difference in brightness. The Hot Toys one, while you can see it's slightly, you can see it's glowing, especially from the tip there. You can see that little lighter missing. There is a clear difference between these two. The CCFL one does look a lot nicer and a lot brighter than the Hot Toys. Here, looking a little bit closer, just to kind of go through these light effects. So the Hot Toys one is base lit, so there is an LED in the hilt, which then kind of obviously shines through the translucent plastic tube, and then you get this kind of light effect at the tip here as well, a bit like a torch. Essentially exactly like a torch is how this works. Now the CCFL is a lot different. Obviously we can't remove the blade, but there is an LED kind of running all the way through, throughout the whole thing. I don't think it's an LED actually, but there is a light source running all the way through the blade. One thing to note, obviously the tip doesn't light up, which is something that prevented me from getting one for a while, and they do get a bit hot. I've had mine on for a while here, and actually it was quite hot to the touch, so just bear that in mind. But it does have a dimmable feature which reduces that quite a lot, which is a nice kind of touch to have. Alright, so now let's have a look at how these kind of hold up in a dark setting, and it is, again, just as clear as it was in a lighter room. You can see the difference between these two. The CCFL looks fantastic. Now I do want to note it's giving off more of a yellow-orange light in the video, but in hand it is very much a clear red. It's just how it gets picked up on the camera, so do please bear that in mind throughout this video. But it looks absolutely fantastic, and you can kind of see that red glow that it kind of gives off, and that's a key aspect of why I decided to buy this in the end, and you'll see it in just a moment when I pair it. Now it's worth noting it does come with different features as well, so you can see this strobing effect here. It does then have this kind of, well, obviously the base effects that you would have, a strobing effect here which is nice and pulsing, and then it kind of goes through faster strobing effects as we go along to where it almost looks like a blaster right here, and then you get this kind of almost Kylo Ren-esque feature there as well. But yeah, it's nice to have these different features, although I don't see myself using them personally.
You don't know the power of the dark side. You have failed me for the last time, Admiral. Most impressive. Don't fail me again.
Okay, and here we have Vader wielding the CCFL lightsaber, and this really highlights the main reason that I decided to pick this up, and that's in this closer look here. You can see the red light even in this brighter lit scene emitting onto the head sculpt, but when you turn off the lights, oh my god, does that look epic. It's like a scene from the film. Just the glow it emits really elevates this figure and makes it kind of look as special as it really is, which is a huge reason why I got this. Even in this scene, the light emitted from that saber just kind of makes this stand out and silhouettes Vader really nicely. And then even with the lights on, I generally do have the lights on my detail, you can see that nice glow, although again it does kind of show that the blank tip, which really bugs me. But guys, we're now going to go through my pros and cons, and should you get this CCFL. So some pros: really bright, it's easy to install as well, and it comes with all the pieces that you need to get going other than a USB adapter, but hopefully you do have one already. And of course, the light emitted from the blade is fantastic for photography, which is a big reason for getting this for me. Cons: I don't like the tip. It's not very aesthetically pleasing. I do wish there was a way to kind of get rid of that. The other con will be the heating effect. It is a bit nerve-wracking when it heats up, which is something to consider. And one last aspect just to kind of go over is, of course, the price. It is not cheap. You're probably looking at around 120 for a single CCFL. So if you do have a whole host of lightsaber wielders you would like to light up, then just bear that in mind. That will be a significant chunk of your collecting budget. So would I recommend the CCFL lightsaber? For me, yes, of course I would. I think it really elevates the figure, and if you've got one piece that you really want to kind of make stand out, this is something to go for. Or if you have a centerpiece in mind, it's a really good idea and a really good way to kind of elevate the figure and the presence that they have on your shelf. But the price is a factor here. Getting 2 or 3 of these is the price of another figure and then some. So do bear that in mind if you are thinking to pick one of these up. But guys, as always, thanks for checking out our video. I'm going to leave it here, and I hope to see you again in a video soon. Peace out.